Dr. Zarkov, there's no sun. It's 8:24 in the morning, and there's no sun.
No sun?
No.
Check the angular vector of the moon.
Welcome to Movie Damage, and we're so glad you could join us. And today, we're talking about Flash Gordon, the 1980s mega smash hit, not really, that will blow your mind. This movie is about a man so dumb he needs his name written on a shirt to remember. Ramon, that's the wrong picture. That's better. Thanks, Ramon. Welcome to Movie Damage, and this is Flash Gordon.
For God's sake! Strap yourselves down, quick!
You're kidnapped by a mad scientist who puts you on a rocket for outer space. There you're confronted by Ming the Merciless, who wants to destroy planet Earth, steal your girl, and kill you. You're left with one choice. What do? Do you A. Save the universe, B. Save the girl, or C. Play football in space? We're going to go with C. Flash Gordon originally was a comic strip, first published on January 7th, 1934. It is generally considered to be one of the most important and influential comic books of all time. Generally because it tackled major subjects of the time. You know, space travel for one, but more importantly, imperialism, racism, just to name a few. It was very inspirational for a lot of people back in them days. One person who was highly influenced by this series was actually George Lucas. And back in the 1970s, he actually tried very, very hard to make his own Flash Gordon Flash Gordon movie. Now, luckily for us all, he failed miserably in this attempt, because if he'd have succeeded, we wouldn't have got this guy. That's right, when he failed to do Flash Gordon, he then decided to make his own science fiction soap opera, Star Wars. So we can all breathe a sigh of relief. Now, that said, it is intriguing to wonder, how would it have been? I'm going to admit, I'm interested to know what a Flash Gordon done by George Lucas would have been like. But that's in the past, and it never happened. Moving on to the 1980s, when Mike Hodges got the rights to actually direct the movie. He then hired Sam J. Jones as the title role as Flash Gordon. Now, a little tidbit about Sam J. Jones is that he was actually a Playgirl centerfold boy back in the day. That's right. So, now, besides that, he dyed his hair for the role, and became the elusive Flash Gordon. And the reason we didn't end up getting sequels afterwards was he ended up having a major argument with the producer at the time, and it just completely destroyed any chance of getting a Flash Gordon 2 or 3. That said, the movie, let's actually talk about the movie a bit. Flash Gordon is a barrage of colours. It is a beautifully filmed movie, even though it's corny, ridiculous, and it's sometimes painfully hard to actually watch. It is still brilliant. Now let's talk about the cast for a second. Now this movie had an all-star cast. It had Max von Sydow as Emperor Ming. Now some of you might remember him from the Exorcist movie. He's the guy who hasn't aged today in like 50 years. You have Brian Best, Timothy Dalton, one of the least favourite James Bonds, Melanie Anderson as Dale, the leading lady. Now, the movie has not many great themes, not a great plot, not a great story. It, to be honest, is ridiculous. It is an absolute ridiculous movie. When you're watching it, all you can think of is, how did these people get the money to actually make this movie? And more importantly, when the actual people from the film studios came down, you can't comprehend how they actually looked at it and went, Good work, guys. I mean, when you watch this movie, it is so bright and colourful and, did I say ridiculous? Ridiculous. I mean, with such lines as, check the angular vector of the moon. You just don't get that sort of stuff anywhere else besides Flash Gordon. One of the best things in this actual movie is the music. And the whole soundtrack was done by Queen, so if you ever have a chance, check it out. It's Queen at their best. And I can't actually praise the music more. In fact, I almost bet that after watching this movie, you'll start having some of the theme tunes just ringing in your head for the next 3 days. It won't be pretty, I can assure you. Now, this movie is sexploitation. I mean, let's have a look at some of these costumes that the director forced these poor women to actually wear. That's just terrible. Anyway, the costumes are ridiculous. The dialogue is ridiculous. The premise is ridiculous. Everything about this movie is ridiculous, and that's what makes it so much fun. You're watching it just going, what the hell just happened? And, you know, in all honesty, that's why I sometimes watch a movie. Thank you for joining us today at Movie Damage. Now, we hope you've enjoyed it, and if you do, please press the like button down the bottom, and even subscribe if you feel really daring. Now, until next time, au revoir.
Long live Flash! You've saved your Earth! Have a nice day!